Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Big and Stupid Game Reviews. I'm Stupid J.
Big Mike. I had some stuff in my ear.
And this isn't even just a new episode, this is a new season.
A new season,
This is
season 2.
And I'm trying something different for season 2.
Uh-huh.
I grew a beard, which I'm probably not going to keep. I grew it out of laziness, actually.
Okay. Well,
and also to
everybody looks
celebrate,
better with a beard.
I wore Gears of War 3 shirt, because I know how much you hate it. And I'm trying rum this time.
Okay.
Even though tequila's still my drink. Which is also because of laziness, I didn't go to the store and buy any.
Okay. Well, I'm wearing a Portal shirt, even though you haven't played it.
No.
Because you're too dumb.
Yes. You know how I am about puzzle games.
Yes.
That's all good.
Alright.
But what's today's first review of Season 2?
The first review is Ghost Recon Future Soldiers. Tom Clancy's.
It is Tom
Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldiers.
Well, I liked it. See you next week.
Oh, good. Then I have... Oh, we're back. I was going to tell people...
I'm not even going to... I mean, I'm not going to even hit too much of what I like about it. Just because I have very little that I don't like about it. So I'm just going to point out that I thought the controls were tight. They worked well. The cover system is great. For a third-person shooter, it's one of the best for running. Like, when you're running, you actually have great control. Nice tight turns. The mark and execute system's great. Gunsmith is fun as hell. Where you take your guns apart and do it. Yeah. Oh, well, I loved doing that.
No, I thought that was boring. This game is basically gun porn. Like,
yeah.
If you're into guns, this is your game. Because, I mean, just like the selection screen. I knew I wasn't going to like this game when the selection screen comes up and the gun pops up and it's all apart. The pins are out of it, and you see, and then like you can pick what barrel you have and what trigger mechanism you have and what stock. And I'm like, I don't know what any of this crap is because I don't give a shit about guns.
But it tells you in the screen.
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those things. It's like, I don't want to read about all this stuff.
You could have just picked stock, put on a muzzle for silencing.
That's why I always put
something.
I always put something silenced on.
But the other thing I really liked about it is the change in gameplay. It's not always the same thing where you go here, kill this guy, and go. There was rescue missions. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's wrong with that. I mean, there's rescue missions. There's a lot of stuff with the drones. You got to fly them around. You got to drive them around. You know, you got to take out certain targets. And there's several levels where you have to get through without being spotted. Period. Challenging. I got pissed off a couple times, but at the same time, I was kind of like loving it because it was challenging the hell out of me. Because when you play a lot of shooters like I do, you're all about running and gunning. And this was like, no, you're a ghost. You're supposed to get in, get out. No one knows you're there. And another thing I really liked, which was a little bit different, was during some of the rescue missions where you have to like hover with the guy that you're rescuing.
Oh yeah.
And you have to just like shoot with one hand, and it's like a weird angle. I loved that. It was so different, and that's why I really liked it.
I did one of those. I'm gonna tell you now that I did not beat this game because, and I don't like to do that. I don't like to not beat games even if I don't like them. I still like to get through them because I like to see what. So my experience wasn't really with the full game, but what I did play, I played through like 4 missions. And I had high hopes for it because I love the old Splinter Cell games, I love the Metal Gear Solid games. So that, I mean,
you were expecting more of a stealth game, but this is a team-based.
That stealth armor thing, like, as soon as when I got into it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna like this game. But while I was playing it, I was having zero fun. The game for me was not any fun at all. I know you told me earlier that later it gets, but what I played was literally brown. The ground was brown, somehow the sky was brown, the buildings are brown, the enemies are brown, wearing brown, and you're wearing brown, and then when the camo kicks in, you're more brown. And like, I'm trying to not get seen, but I can't see the brown enemies in the brown background wearing their brown clothes.
That's why you have to
so
use
I
your
would get
infrared visions and all
yeah,
that
and
shit.
I would get spotted by guys up on roofs that I didn't see.
Yeah.
It was just I was trying to force myself to have fun, but I wasn't having any fun. And when I play a video game, that's what I want.
Well, yeah,
I want to have fun while I'm playing it, so I ended up going back to playing Spider-Man.
This goes back to you have to use all your tools because there's different optics you can get too. Like one is heartbeat monitor, one is X-ray monitor, one is heat sensor.
I was using the
that's
X-ray
how
thing and
you got to find your guys, and you got to prone, and you got to take your time and really look. And so, but if we're definitely going to get into the bad stuff, I already mentioned all the good anyway. So,
Okay.
and that is one of my complaints is. The levels are not varied enough, especially in the beginning where you're in all the is stands, you know, and like you said, everything's brown and what it is. One was kind of cool. You were like a little shanty town that was like partially in the water.
Yeah.
That was a nice little different. One later on, you're in the forest. That's a nice difference. But once the main story kicks in, it's mainly all in Russia, and they're all standard what you would expect in Russia. You're in fighting in the snow, and you're crawling through these missile silos, and you're going through bases, and a lot of it's standard. And I really wanted to see more, you know, variation. And one is you're actually in Moscow during the whole bad guys thing. That's really the second to last level, which is really cool. But again, you had to play 15 missions, you know, and 13 of them aren't much different, you know. But it was like the only one that varied the one really in the snow is where you have to use the big remote controlled robot and shoot missiles and shoot the Gatling gun, and that's really fucking cool. Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree that the missions are not varied enough. And my other really problem with it is also with the way it looks. There are times where the game looks really good, and you're like, wow, look at that water effect, it looks good. And then the next level, it looks like they just like gave up. The graphics are all over the place.
Yeah, I did notice that it sort of looked crappy. Like
there are times it looks, it does. It looks like shit. But there are times it looks good. Even the CG sequences, though, none of them impressed me.
Yeah.
None of them. They all, I'm like, it almost, I don't want to say it looks last gen, but it definitely doesn't look as good as it should, especially these games.
Yeah.
I mean, Ubisoft games usually look really great, and when you're comparing this to something like Splinter Cell Conviction, which came out 2-3 years ago, that looks better than this does, and that's a fine game, you know.
I love Conviction.
But those are actually my two biggest complaints.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh no, I do have another complaint. I forgot about it.
Is it about the multiplayer?
That's where I'm going. Because you know me, I'm always the one that at least tries the multiplayer.
Yeah, well, I got this.
So I bought this brand new.
Yeah, I didn't get it new, and I refuse to buy a pass for a game so that people can tell me how much I suck at the game.
I bought it new, and I still have to buy a pass.
You had to buy it?
It's not included. I looked in here, I'm like, well, this has to include a pass. I bought it new. Not in here. Pass was not in. So either I got fucked during packaging, or you have to buy the online pass regardless. If that's the case, because again, I'm not sure and I didn't research it, if that's the case, that's bullshit, period. And that's ridiculous. So I didn't get to play the multiplayer. I did get to play I forget the name of the mode, but it's just a survival mode, which is pretty fun, but no split screen. You have to play that online too, or you're playing by yourself. So you can't even you can play it by yourself, but it's practically impossible because it's a survival mode.
Yeah.
But split screen, I mean, I hate seeing split screen getting flushed down the toilet. I mean, we're both married to women who play games.
Yes.
So it sucks that if we want to sit and play with our wives, we can't even do it on split screen.
Yeah.
You have to basically buy another console and another game, you know, and people like us are fading out, and that's just, well, we're not fading out, but the industry thinks we're fading out for some odd reason, and that's bullshit. So, but those are my complaints.
Yeah. My complaint is basically that the game's not fun. So, I wouldn't pay $60 for it.
I did, and I am glad, because it was a nice long campaign. It was worth it. But I am going to say that no one should buy it new, because you're already not getting your money's worth because you can't go online, period. So that's bullshit.
If that's the case.
If that's the case. Because I'm not going to do the research. I'm far too lazy for that. But that's a pre-order incentive sheet.
Oh.
Yep.
So it is. I was hoping that I was going to find it right here on camera this second, and then I could make fun of you. But no, if that's all that it came with.
Yep. I even went on Uplay, which finally, after like 2-3 years, the beta is finally over with Uplay, and even on there, it doesn't help me out at all. So
okay. Well,
either I got boned, or that's the case.
I did get some Uplay points for when the new Assassin's Creed comes out. So that was something good about the game.
So
all right, I think that's it for this one.
All right, cool.
Subscribe to our channel,
yes,
which is this channel that you're looking at, and like us on Facebook, Big and Stupid, and
yeah, because you know what, I know I haven't been checking the Facebook, but I know we wanted to put up some pictures of Vodacon and some other, because that's why we haven't really been catching up with doing a lot of cons, and I got injured, and that wasn't helping, and it's summer, so games are slow, and I'm doing more work at work because of it. But September around the corner, more games will be coming out. We're going to be filming a lot more.
Yeah.
But I wanted to throw it out there to definitely check our Facebook, because we're definitely going to put more pictures up. And one is from my absolute highlight of Vodacon. And my highlight was someone cosplayed as you.
Yes.
And that was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It was pretty good.
So
it was pretty good.
So that's why people have to go on the Facebook to see someone cosplaying as Mike, because that was pretty fantastic.
It was.
It was one of the coolest things ever.
Yes. So do that, and we'll see. We're doing another one today.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. We'll see you later, though.
All right.